The last thing I remember before walking out was the sound of my heartbeat drowning out the world. Her voice, the rain against the windows, even the soft hum of the refrigerator. All of it vanished beneath that heavy, relentless thud inside my head. I just stood there, staring at the messages glowing on her phone screen. Last night was amazing. You always know how to make me feel alive. Only it wasn't my name under the text. The phone slipped from my hand and hit the tiles with a crack that felt too final, too real. She looked up from the couch, her face going pale the moment our eyes met. "Daniel," she whispered. "Please, let me explain." But there was nothing left to explain. The truth was right there, shining in the palm of my hand, bright enough to burn through everything we'd built together. 5 years before that night, Maya and I had been married for 7 years. We'd met in college, she studied literature, and I was chasing a business degree. She had this quiet kind of presence, the kind that made a room feel softer just by being in it. I fell for her fast, the way you do when you think you've found the one person meant for you. For a long time, I believed I had. We bought a small house outside Portland, the kind with uneven floors and ivy climbing the porch rails. I worked long hours at a logistics company while she taught English at the local high school. We had dreams, travel, kids, a slow life that stretched out into the future. But somewhere in the long hours and missed dinners, a space opened up between us. She started staying late at work. I started sleeping on the couch, not out of anger, but because the silence of our bedroom hurt too much. Then came that night. That text. And everything shattered. When I left, I didn't yell or throw things. I didn't take much, either. Just a duffel bag, my passport, and enough cash to disappear. She begged me to stay, to talk, to listen. But every word she spoke was just noise against the roar in my head. So I walked out into the rain and never went back. I vanished. I drifted from place to place, first Montana, then Colorado. I changed my number, deleted everything online, and started going by my middle name, Eli. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. Not even my brother. I found work as a carpenter for a small restoration crew. There was something soothing about it. Cutting, sanding, building again. After years of destroying myself in meetings and deadlines, I found peace in sawdust and aching muscles. It was simple, honest. But nights were still the hardest. When everything went quiet, her voice came back. The way she laughed in her sleep. The way she hummed while cooking. The way she whispered "I love you" like a promise she'd never break. And every time I remembered, it felt like she was breaking it all over again. 5 years later, I was in Denver running my own small renovation business when she found me. It was late autumn. The air was cold enough that my breath came out in clouds, and leaves were skittering across the sidewalk. I was packing up tools outside an old bookstore when I heard the sound of heels behind me. I turned, and there she was. Maya. She looked older, thinner maybe. Her hair was shorter, her eyes tired in a way I didn't recognize. She wore a beige coat and held her phone like a shield. "Daniel," she said softly, "I finally found you." For a second, I thought I was imagining her again. Like all the nights I'd replayed her face in my mind. But she was real, standing there in the cold, and my stomach twisted with something I couldn't name. Anger, fear, longing, maybe all of it at once. "How?" I asked, my voice sharper than I meant. "I hired someone," she said quietly. "A private investigator. I had to see you." I let out a short, bitter laugh. 5 years too late. She flinched but didn't look away. "I know. I deserve that. But please, just give me a minute to explain." I should have walked away. I should have told her to leave me alone, to go back to whatever life she'd built after I was gone. But something in her eyes, the same pleading look I saw that night I left, kept me from moving. So I nodded once. "1 minute," I said. We sat in a small cafe nearby. She held her cup but didn't drink from it. Her hands trembled slightly, and as I watched her, I realized I still remembered everything, every habit, every gesture. "I don't even know where to start," she said quietly. "That night, the message you saw was real. I did cheat on you. It wasn't an accident or a moment of confusion. I made a choice, and I've hated myself for it ever since. Her voice trembled, her breath uneven. It was with someone from work, she said quietly. It started when you stopped coming home for dinner, when we stopped feeling like us. I thought I'd already lost you. I just wanted to feel wanted again, even if it was wrong. I said nothing. The silence pressed against my chest, heavy and suffocating. I ended it the same night you found out, she went on, eyes glistening. I told him it was over. But you were gone before I could tell you that. I finally spoke. You didn't end it because you regretted it. You ended it because you got caught. She didn't argue. Maybe, she whispered. But the guilt came after. Every day. Every year you were gone. It ate at me. I tried to move on. I worked, I dated, I even moved houses. But nothing helped. I still saw your face every time I closed my eyes. Her voice softened to a fragile whisper. I never stopped loving you, Daniel. Even when I didn't deserve to. I leaned back, watching rain trail down the cafe window. I wanted to hate her, to tell her she had no right to speak of love after what she'd done. But the truth was never that simple. 5 years hadn't erased her from me. If anything, they'd carved her deeper into the places I tried hardest to forget. You know, I said quietly, I used to imagine this moment. Sometimes I thought I'd forgive you. Other times, I thought I'd make you feel what you made me feel. And now? And now? She asked softly. I exhaled. Now I just feel tired. We sat in silence, the rain filling the space between us. Then she reached into her bag and slid a worn envelope across the table. This was meant for you, she said. Inside was a letter, yellowed and fragile from years of being opened and closed. I unfolded it carefully. Daniel, if you're reading this, it means I finally found the courage to face what I did to you. I wish I could undo it all. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I need you to know that not a single day has gone by without regret. You were my home, and I destroyed it. I've spent these 5 years trying to rebuild, not with you, but within myself. If you ever find it in your heart to speak to me again, even once, I'll be waiting. Always. Maya. My throat tightened as I folded the letter and set it back on the table. You've been carrying this for 5 years? I asked. She nodded, hope flickering faintly in her eyes, the hope that maybe, somehow, I'd still choose her. But too much had died between us. I'd learned to live without her. What I hadn't learned was how to stop loving her. And that was the cruelest part. I forgive you, I said finally. Her head lifted, eyes wide. But that's all I can give you. Forgiveness. Not another chance. Tears spilled down her cheeks as she nodded. I understand. She stood, hesitated, then whispered, You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm sorry I realized it too late. I watched her walk into the rain, just like I had 5 years before. Months passed after that day. Sometimes I still saw her handwriting in my mind, her words echoing softly. The anger was gone, replaced by a quiet sadness. Forgiving her hadn't changed the past, but it had freed me from it. I still build things for a living. Houses, tables, shelves. But lately, I've been working on something smaller, a wooden box. Inside it, I keep her letter, not as a symbol of betrayal, but as proof that even a shattered heart can find peace again. Because love, in the end, isn't just about who stays. It's about who teaches you how to begin again, after everything falls apart. And I did begin again. But some part of me will always remember the sound of rain that night, and the woman who learned what regret truly costs.